Hi, welcome to Steph's World on Spotify. I am Steph. Happy Sunday, April 7th. I'm excited because it's my birthday week. My birthday is on Thursday. We will not say my age, but I will be getting a new tattoo, and that is how I'm celebrating being a little bit older. We're going to talk about news today, just news updates, things that I thought were quirky and funny that I saw in the news in the last couple days. First of all, though, really exciting. Google has given me my own voice number. So, like, there's a Google phone number you guys can call in. You can leave me a voicemail. You can tell me what you think of the show. You love it, you hate it, you have an idea, you have an opinion. So, here's the number. I will also put it in the post. It is 916 538 1373. Again, 916-538-1373. That'll be the Steph's Rock Show, Steph's World podcast line that you can call in. And, eventually I want to do lives and we can go live and call in together. So this will be the start of something neat. So first off, local news. I'm really excited because West Sacramento got the Oakland A's. It may just be temporary while the new stadium's being built in Las Vegas. But if you are a homeowner, business owner, anything in West Sacramento, this is really exciting because real estate prices, the value of our equity just increased by a lot. And if you love baseball like I do, then in our backyard, we can go see professional players. It is fascinating to me, though, how the River Cats, our local team, were first with the Giants, and the Giants would get injured and come play at Sutter Health Park. And now we're with the A's. And we're like, the River Cats are with divorced cool parents, and they were with the mom, the Giants, and now they're with the dad, the A's, and they're going back and forth, and we can't decide. But I know a lot of the original Oakland A's fans are upset they're leaving Oakland. But In-N-Out Burger's leaving Oakland. I think Taco Bell's leaving Oakland. Unfortunately, everything's leaving Oakland. And you know what I'm kind of shocked is that Stockton, to me, per capita is having more deaths. The last couple days, there's been 3 shots. Like a lot of gang activity or just major issues. And places aren't leaving Stockton. It must be the rent with the crime because the Bay Area rent is just so expensive. So I wonder if not only is there so many problems and break-ins and robberies in Oakland, but the rent prices with that most companies are like, I just can't afford. And California minimum wage, that's a whole nother story. I talked about that on my last podcast. Okay, well, that was local news. Now I want to get into news stories that I watched and were like, okay. First is that Tiger Woods announced he's abstaining from sex before he goes to the Masters. So I don't watch a lot of golf. I bartended at Pebble Beach. And so I got to be at one of the coolest big golf tournaments ever, the PGA, I think it was. I wanted to hang out with George Lopez at the bar all day and make him drinks. That's what was fun to me. Golfers are really nice, though. They're high tippers. I loved bartending at golfing events and around Carmel and Monterey. It's beautiful. Anyways, so Tiger Woods. I'm just curious. Can anybody tell me, do you really think having sex can hinder your ability? Sports wise, maybe intellectually wise. I don't care what it is you're doing. Do you think that abstaining from sex will help your performance in what you're trying to achieve? I'm curious. I would think that sex releases dopamine and happy hormones and can literally be addicting and a happy thing to do. So why would you not want to have more sex? Or is he not in a relationship and he's saying he's having, non-relationship sex with multiple people, and that can cloud your judgment and maybe make it hard to focus. So I'm just curious what this Tiger Woods statement is and why should you abstain from sex before a huge tournament in sports? I remember I've heard other people, professional athletes, state this, and I don't know why. If someone's a doctor and can tell me why, please do. Okay, another news story I saw that was a what the fuck. A boy, I want to say boy because he was younger, like early 20s, goes into Chipotle and he's really angry. And he goes up to the counter and I think he wants more guac. And there's just this fight and struggle about the guac. The employee, stays stern on the guac and is like, no. And the guy ends up getting out a gun and firing his gun at Chipotle over guacamole. Why are we, sorry, my dog, let's say hi to me. Why are we fighting over guacamole? Why are we doing this? This is not okay. I mean, they may have raised it from like 50 cents to $1.50 or something. So I get it. Times are rough, but no, we don't need violence and shooting people over guacamole. That's obviously a mental health issue, right? Like that person needs therapy or a psych ward, something in between. But when you're getting that upset over guac, you're going to have to, and was it the amount of guacamole? Did they not put on enough what he thought he deserved? People, and I'm such a people pleaser. I'm the opposite. Like if I go to Chipotle and I said queso and it's extra, I'm paying extra, and they give me just a dot of queso, I won't say anything and I'll smile and nod and pay for it. If I go out to a restaurant and they mess up my order, I'll eat it. I'm like the worst. I will not complain. I grew up with a mom that complained about everything though all the time and put down people in the service industry, and it makes me cringe, and I work in the service industry. So I feel like I've gone full board the opposite. Like someone could give me the worst service and I'm going to tip you and I'm going to smile and say thank you. But we also don't know what someone's going through, right? Like someone could be having a very hard time in their life and you got to go to work because you got to pay the bills and they're coming in to serve and maybe you're not the best server. I don't do that personally. I put on my smile and I will bartend and love you all the time. But I have a soft spot in my heart for people that do work in the service industry and are having a hard time and they can't fake it till you make it. Okay, next in news. And by the way, this is April 7th, 2024, if you are not listening with me live. Walmart added self-checkout. You know, we're doing AI, we're doing robots, we're trying to do self-checkout to save money, to make sure the companies save money. Well, it turns out during the annual review with Walmart, they lost around 300 million in a year. So people through theft, right? Like people, it's a joke, but it's really happening. They're taking TVs and ringing them up as tomatoes. I'm too scared to try something like that. I can never do that. I'm like, oh, I'll get a tattoo from a stranger in a closet at a party, but I'm not going to try to shoplift. That's really scary. Um, but no, and so now they're proposing almost like Costco style membership, but with a twist that for $98 for an annual membership with Walmart, you can then have access to the self checkout. So I don't know, is that really going to save them money? And then they have to hire someone at self checkout to check your membership card to make sure you have this $98 a year. And why 98? Why not just 100? I don't know. I guess they thought it just sounded more affordable to check that you have this card to do self checkout. And then are they thinking because you pay $98 for the year, you'll be honest and you won't? What if one person in the friend group, this is just a good what if, buys the $98 membership at Walmart to use self checkout and they use it in a group, like 5 of them, and all 5 of them end up ringing up something for the wrong price, and still stealing? I don't know. This is where it comes into like, I understand companies trying to save money, right? And make money. But humans, even though we have faults and make mistakes, I think it's safer to stick with humans. And I don't want to order at a restaurant from a bar. I go to the restaurant partly because I want amazing food and partly because I might want a great social interaction, especially if I go sit up at the bar. I want to talk. I want to socialize. So I don't want to put it in a machine and look down and get my food. I'll stay home and cook and be depressed because I had to cook. Just kidding. Sometimes I like to cook, but you ever you cook so much, 3 meals a day, that you're like, I don't want to cook today. I just cooked and cleaned again. I feel like that's what you do. You become an adult, you decide what you're going to eat, and you cook and clean in the kitchen all the time. No bueno. Okay, moving on in news for today. Earthquake in New York. And it was, it was kind of minor. It wasn't too big, but it's wild. The conspiracy theorists, I like watching all my friends, my flat earthers. They fascinate me. I don't know. I can't get on board, but I will listen to you guys all day. But the people that are saying this is just the start of something big, the solar eclipse on April 8th, tomorrow on Monday. I hope everyone has their sunglasses. I got one kid in school that day, one kid not. So I guess they have safety glasses to look. We'll see. He's a kindergartner. I'll probably throw him on the ground and look at the sun. Who knows? Fingers crossed. But that basically the solar eclipse is going to kick off more earthquakes and possibly power grid outages and all of this mayhem. Um, I guess I'm at that age and stage. You could call it a midlife crisis. I don't know what. I just don't care. Should I care? In fact, like people are freaking out. They're like buying water and the batteries and the generator. And I'm just like, you know what? It's my birthday week. I may have a little mimosa during the eclipse. I'm not going to look at it and buy the sunglasses. If my power goes out or flickers, cool. I mean, I'm solar, so that is really cool because a lot of people's power go out and mine still works. But I am just not a doomsday prepper person that reads into things and trips out. I'm very laissez-faire. If it happens, it happens, whatever. I stay pretty calm. Say the only thing I get more excited or into is love. Like if I love someone or I fall in love, I'm like, what are they doing all the time? And that's how I think these people think about like earthquakes and fires and tsunamis and natural disasters and different things that don't happen very often, like a solar eclipse, and they get super into it. And like I said, I'll listen to the podcast and I'll be fascinated to why people think this is going on or that's going on. I don't know. I also watched the Anonymous Netflix documentary recently. That was pretty cool how they said they started things as a joke, but a lot of people online took their conspiracy theories as reality. So you have to be careful when you are on the internet reaching masses of the information you put out there because some people just believe it without researching it further and looking into the background of things. Okay, and then I was going to talk about the man one in Oregon, the Powerball, 1.3 million. And the first thing I thought of that I just wanted to talk about is that's not that much. That's not that much. I think maybe when I was younger or even in the 80s or 90s, like 1.3 million, that sounds like a lot of money. You're excited, right? You're like, whoa, what am I going to go buy? First, we've got taxes. So I know Oregon's not as bad as California, but it's still on the West Coast. So it's still a liberal run blue state that wants to take our money. So you're losing a good chunk of that. I don't know exactly what, but whatever the income state taxes is, maybe federal as well. You're losing a big chunk of that 1.3. Then if you want a house, on the West Coast, a pretty okay basic house is $500,000. We're not talking phenomenal. We're not talking beachfront property. We're not even talking mountain view. I'm talking a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, middle of the road, medium house is going to be around $500,000. So say you just want to buy a house and you maybe take home 750, 800 of that 1.3. You've got a house and then you've got a good year to 2 years where you don't have to work and you could afford groceries and insurance. And then you'd have to go back to work. Unless you got some crazy investment that really took off. My grandfather was a genius on my mom's side and invested in land, property, vineyards, which now grapes have really taken off, where he invested in the vineyards and the windmills. And so I think everyone's like, wait, windmills for energy, that's in the 60s. You're like, what? That's out there. But he did it right, man. I wish I had money to invest right now. Right now, it's like the money comes in and the bills get paid. That's what's happening. But by the way, I hope everyone has an amazing, relaxing Sunday. I'm going to get ready and jog the dog and go into work and bartend. So if you want me to be your bartender, hit me up and I'll give you more information on how to come visit my bar. But thank you guys for joining Steph's World. Oh, stay tuned this week. We've got a couple bands coming on that I'm really excited about. And we have a very famous male stripper that has performed all over the world. And he's going to come on and talk about what it's like to be a male performer in this day and age. A little Magic Mike moment. So thanks. And don't forget, check out that phone number we have now to call in and interact with me more.